activities and their overall mental development, their physical development, they will be given lesser amount of formal education, but mostly it will be all around the overall development of the child. Then emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy, that is, they should be made aware about the literacy system, about the alphabets, about the numerical systems and all these things, rather than simply loading them with the school bags and other things. This is the key part of this thing. Next is integration of early childhood care and education, ECCC. Then reduction in curriculum content for critical thinking. That means they are simply saying the student or the child should be in a position to comprehend what is in and around him or her, rather than giving them purely curriculum-based teaching, teaching them English, teaching them mathematics at early stages. This is not going to be covered under the National Education Policy 2020, which is meant for school education system. Focus on experimental and inquiry-based and holistic learning. This is another key feature of the school education vis-a-vis this. Now, what is there in 5+3+3+4 system? Foundational stage, that is 5 years, ages 3 to 8. They will be put into the foundational system, and this will be totally devoted to activity-based learning. And all children, all kids, they are basically going to be subjected to activity-based learning, and it will be a type of an Anganwadi system where they will be exposed to this thing, and all the children, starting from the age 3 to 8, they will be subjected to activity-based learning. Then in the next 3 years, that is preparatory stage, 3 years, this will be for ages 8 to 11, and it is basically revolving around introduction of basic subjects, basic arithmetic, basic environmental system, basic mother tongue languages, and all these things. They will be subjected from ages 8 to 11. Then in the middle stages, 3 years, ages 11 to 14, this will be more and more based on the experiential learning, experimental learning, experiential learning, and they will be subjected to some courses like artificial intelligence, some courses like economics, like this thing, some courses on management. These type of courses, they will be given an introduction to these students who are belonging to the age group 11 to 14. This is the basic idea regarding the middle stage under the 5+3+3+4 structure. And then the fourth part, that is the fourth structure, it is totally from class 9 to 12, and it is secondary stage, and for ages from 14 to 18. And this is basically going to be for multidisciplinary studies. There will be mathematics, there will be social science, it will be computer science, it will be arts, humanities. Everything is going to be taught to the students between ages 14 to 18. So your existing 10+2 system is going to be replaced by 5+3+3+4 system under the National Education Policy. So I'll be just giving this overview, and I'm just stopping here, and I will be moving into the higher education, skipping all those things now. Multilingualism and medium of instruction, more and more emphasis is going to be paid on multilingual education. Mother tongue or regional languages as the medium of instruction till at least grade 5 is going to be emphasized within this National Education Policy at the school level. Then promotion of Indian languages and culture. This I'm just leaving inclusive and equitable education, especially focused on socially, economically disadvantaged group. Another important feature of National Education Policy 2020 vis-a-vis school is that the idea is that gross enrollment ratio should be increased to 50% when this policy starts implementing. Currently, it is around 20%, 22%. This gross enrollment ratio is to be increased to a level of 50% under this National Education Policy vis-a-vis school education. Barrier-free access for children with disabilities. That means there should be a mixing of the students with special ability for disabilities or something like this thing. They will not, the idea behind this thing is that they should not be taken to some different schools. They should be mixed with the common students in order to give them a sense of basically belonging and something like this thing. So it should be a barrier-free access for children with disabilities. Scholarships and incentives for marginalized communities, because from the backward communities or people who are underprivileged, their scholarships are to be given, incentives are to be given in order to bring the children from those communities into the education and formal education system, and just to enroll them into the education system in order to increase the gross enrollment ratio for this. Gender inclusion fund to improve access for girls. More and more emphasis is to be paid, and special funds are going to be arranged in order to bring more and more female candidates into the education system. Technology in school education, Diksha platforms are to be started. Digital platforms like Diksha platforms, I think the full form of Diksha should be known to you. This is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. Diksha stands for digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, where students and teachers, they will be putting their notes and other things, and they can be shared among the various students. Use of artificial intelligence and coding in curriculum. All these things are to be implemented at the school level. I'm just moving fast over this thing. Conclusion, NEP 2020 aims to transform school education into a more equitable and inclusive and engaging system. It emphasizes building strong foundations, fostering critical thinking, and preparing students for future challenges. Now, I'm just coming to the important part, which our discussion will be based on, and that is the implementation of National Education Policy in higher education. The National Education Policy, NEP 2020, aims to revolutionize higher education in India by introducing holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary education and aligning with global standards. Key features of higher education are, number one, multidisciplinary and flexible curriculum. That means the basic idea regarding multidisciplinary and flexible curriculum is that the students, they should be given opportunities to go into other streams. It should not be like this thing. If a particular student, if he or she belongs to, say, the art side or if or she is belonging to humanities, then you simply say that you are only limited to humanities or you are only limited to art side. You will be the side from the science side, from the engineering side. It will be open to you. You can simply select few subjects from this engineering side, few subjects from the science side, and those subjects you can read. Suppose a student is from, say, having a major in Hindi, and if he or she thinks that they are capable of studying zoology, then the National Education Policy says that the student should be given an opportunity to read a paper in zoology, and your system should be flexible enough, your curriculum should be flexible enough to basically incorporate these type of students into their stream or into their system. This is the first key feature of the higher education, that it should be multidisciplinary. I'll give another example. A lot of people, they are already aware about the IITs. They know that IITs are mostly dedicated to engineering education. Now, the government says that these type of institutions which were simply giving you a unidisciplinary education like engineering or like medical sciences, these institutes, they should be in a position to give you courses on humanities, courses on sciences, like this thing. So basic idea is that they want to make these existing institutes multidisciplinary rather than giving them as unidisciplinary. We universities, whether it is central university, whether it is state university, we are already multidisciplinary, so it is not a big issue with we people. But with the institutes which are unidisciplinary in nature, they have been basically asked to move into multidisciplinary approaches, and along with the teaching which they were imparting. Suppose, for example, some medical institutes are there and they are teaching medical sciences, they will be asked to teach some other subjects regarding this thing, maybe a bachelor's course in psychiatry or maybe a bachelor's course in psychology, which is generally taken care of by the arts stream. Those institutes, they may be asked to float courses like this thing. Similarly, this IITs, they have been asked to float the courses in education, B.Ed programs and other programs. They are basically asked to do this thing. So they are basically asked to move into the multidisciplinary approaches rather than having a unidisciplinary approach. Choice-based credit system and multiple entry-exit option. This is very, very important feature of National Education Policy 2020. The feature of multiple entry and multiple exit options. This basically gives you an idea regarding this thing, that suppose due to some reason or the other, some candidate, some student is not in a position to complete the education due to some reasons, maybe due to some calamity in the house, or maybe he or she is getting a better job at that moment. So they can always have an exit after 1 year, after 2 years, after, suppose if you are having a 4-year degree, So that particular student will be having the options to have an exit after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, after 4 years. There are certain number of credits to be completed. For example, if that student completes 40 credits at the end of the first year, and if they want to have an exit from the stream, they will be awarded a certificate course in that particular stream. That suppose I'm having a major in mathematics and I have studied few courses, which is say about 10 credits or 12 credits or 14 credits. And if I'm making an exit from there, I may be given a certificate course, which will be in certificate course in mathematics, and that will be of duration 1 year. At a later stage, that particular student feels like that now I'm in a position to rejoin my education. He can always come and join in the second year because he or she will be already having a first year certificate to their credit, and they can always come back to this thing. But the condition is that this flipping is to be completed within a duration span of 7 years only. For a 4-year degree, this flipping, this leaving and rejoining is to be done within a period of 7 years. This is, as of now, the government says like this thing. Maybe at a later stage, there might be some changes which can be incorporated. But currently, the restriction is that all this flipping, swapping, entry, exit is to be done within a period of 7 years, plus 1 year grace to be given by the university academic councils and other bodies of the universities. So this choice-based credit system, another thing is, as I just told you, the students, they should be given ample choices to select the papers of their choices. Suppose a student from art side, if he or she wants to study a course in science side or in life sciences, he or she should be given this opportunity to read a course from there. So this is basically under the CBCS system or choice-based credit system. Another thing is that it should be for slow learners, they can have lesser number of credits to be studied. For fast learners, suppose a particular semester says that you can have, say, up to a maximum of 22 credits to be done. Now, for a fast learner, you may give an option up to for 28 credits or up to 30 credits, depending to be decided by the respective bodies of a particular institution. But for fast learners, they may be given an opportunity to complete their 4-year degree within 3 years if they are basically capable of doing this thing. So this type of options are available within the national education policy in higher education vis-a-vis NEP 2020. Establishment of Higher Education Commission of India. The idea is that UGC is basically University Grants Commission. This is going to be renamed as Higher Education Commission of India, or maybe replaced by this Higher Education Commission of India, and they will be looking after the entire education system as of now, but currently it is basically being done by the UGC. Either UGC may be renamed as HECI or it may be replaced by HECI, whatever the case may be. Emphasis on skill development and employability. More and more emphasis is to be given on the courses which place more, more emphasis on skill development and employability. Rather than having a normal courses to be done, they say your curriculum for a particular program should have at least 30-40% of the courses which should be dedicated to skill development and as well as to the employability. So even if you are having, say, English degree, a bachelor's degree in English, they say there should be courses on communicative English, there should be courses on translative English, something like this thing. So which basically gives you employability and your market value is going to be increased. So you have to introduce that type of courses in your curriculum, which is basically giving you more marketability to your student of your institution or the case, maybe. Increased use of technology and digital learning tools. It says more and more use of technology should be there. The people, they should make more use of the PowerPoint presentations. Digital learning tools and platforms should be introduced. Students, they should be well versed with this thing. There are basically platforms like Moodle where you can register yourself, where you can share your notes, you can give your exams. When I'm saying you, that means I'm talking about the students over there. The students, they can register over there. As a teacher, you can simply put your session marks over there. You can give your examination system. You can simply set your session exams. You can give your final exams over there. Students, they might be asked to come on the Moodle and they can give the examinations over there. They may be proctored exams, they may be non-proctored exams, and this way, all evaluation is to be done through these digital platforms. The Moodle is one of the platforms which is available under the open source. And this, the government is basically giving you more and more emphasis in order to move towards this thing. More and more use of LMS, that is learning management systems, are to be introduced over there. Then the students, they are basically asked to go to the digital platforms like SWAM. I think a lot of people there might be aware about the SWAM platform. And the government says that for any program of, say, 160 credit program or a 160 credit degree, at least 40% of the credits are to be earned through SWAM platform. This is to begin with. You can start with 10 credits, you can start with 20 credits or this thing. But in terms of percentage, at least 40% of the courses of the curriculum are to be done through SWAM platform. Maybe over a period of next 5 years, next 10 years, that is a different issue. But as the case in AMU is there, we have already implemented this thing, and a lot of courses, they are basically, some departments are offering 6 credits, some of departments are offering 10 credits under SWAM platform. Some in young faculty, they are offering, say, 4 or 6 like this thing. So we have already started implementing this thing. And in phased manner, we will be increasing this thing. And we may go right up to 30%, 40% of the courses to be done by the SWAM platform. So if the institutes who have not done, till now, they have not done the usage of the SWAM platform, this is my advice to them, that they should move towards the SWAM platform. They must ask their students to register themselves, study from there, and give exam over there. Whatever credits they are earning, those credits are to be given to the institutes, and that will be incorporated in their results over there. So the government is emphasizing on this thing, and sooner or later you have to move to the SWAM platform. This is the important thing. Promotes learning across disciplines. 4-year undergraduate program. All existing 3-year programs are to be converted into 4-year. And AMU is amongst the very few institutes all over the India who have converted from 3-year undergraduate program to 4-year undergraduate program. And currently we are in the 6th semester of the 4-year undergraduate program. A 4-year undergraduate program is based on 8 semesters, and we are currently in the 6th semester of the 4-year undergraduate program. So you can yourself imagine that how far we have moved into the implementation of the 4-year undergraduate program at AMU. And we are basically, our 6th semester of the 4-year undergraduate program is already under the implementation stages, and maybe from January, our 6th semester will start, and next year we will be moving into the 4-year undergraduate program. That means the 4th year of our FIUP is going to be started with the flexibility to choose majors and minors. Now, we have basically provided this thing, and one more feature which government also says, and what we have done at AMU is that our degree will be given in such a way that if a particular student has taken around 36 credits in a minor course, then that will be written on his or her degree. That means, suppose some student has got a mathematics as a major, and in physics they have accumulated 36 credits in physics. Then this will be written on their degree that this particular student has majored in mathematics and with a minor in physics. Now, the advantage of this thing is that when this student moves into the master's course, for that student, there will be 2 streams open for him. He or she can compete, he and she can appear for a entrance test for master's in mathematics and for a master's test in physics over there. So that means we have opened 2 streams for that particular student, and he or she will not be limited only to his major, that means mathematics or English or something like this thing. Suppose, but in case if your earned credits in a minor is less than 36, then this is not going to be written on the degree, and you will not be permitted, that student will not be permitted to have a master's degree into that minor. To have a minor, to have a crack at the minor, a master's degree in a minor subject, a minimum of 36 credits are to be earned by the students at the end of that particular degree. This is the prerequisite which we have implemented at the AMU level, and a lot of institutes who are now following AMU, they are also doing this thing. Focus on broad-based education for critical thinking and creativity. Certificate after 1 year, this I have just told you that after multiple entry and multiple exit, there will be 4 levels of exit provided under FIUP, that is 4-year undergraduate program. Certificate after 1 year, diploma after 2 years, degree after 3 years, and 4 years it will be there. Now I'll just explain one thing. If a particular student is having a certificate, is he or she is seeking an exit after 1 year, she will be given a certificate course after completion of 1 year, provided she has earned 40 credits of that particular year. Then and only if some credits are missing, he or she will not be given the exit, number one, and no certificate will be issued to them. If they really want to have a certificate, they have to complete the 40 credits of that particular year. Then and only then a certificate course is going to be issued to that particular person. Then diploma after 2 years, that means 2 years of study means if 1 year is of 40 credits, that means that student has to complete 80 credits, complete 80 credits, and after that, they will be given an exit over there and they can have a diploma in that particular stream. Then after 3 years, they will be getting a normal bachelor's degree, just a plain bachelor's degree into that subject. Suppose if my major is mathematics, I will be giving a bachelor's degree in mathematics, nothing honors, nothing by research, nothing like that. By honors or by research will only be given at the end of the successful completion of the 4th year of the FIUB program, that is 4-year undergraduate program. When the student has completed all 4 years of his or her degree, then and only then the program is then the student is basically going to be awarded a degree by honors or a degree by research. By research, because if a student is earning a bachelor's degree by research, the only benefit which he or she is going to have is that they will not be required to go through masters. They can have a direct track at the PhD entrance exam if they are having their bachelor's done by research. But the condition by doing bachelor's by research is that at the end of the 3rd year, they must have at least 7.5 CGPA. Then and only then they will be given a bachelor's subject in the major with honors and with research. And if they are having less than 7.5 CGPA, and if they are completing their 4th year, then they will only be given a plain vanilla bachelor's along with the honors part only. So remember one thing, exit after 3 years, only plain bachelor's. Exit after 4 years with less than 7.5 CGPA, bachelor's with honors. If you are having your CGPA greater than 7.5 at the 3rd year level, then you will be having the option. Now, this is one thing, it is not mandatory. It is up to the student if they want to opt for a degree by research, and if they have scored more than 7.5 CGPA, then they can go in for this thing. Otherwise, they all will be getting the bachelor's by honors. They will be getting BSc honors, or they will be getting BA honors, so they will be getting BCom honors after 4 years. But if they have scored greater than 7.5 CGPA at the end of the 3rd year program, then they will be having an option to opt for by research also. The advantage of opting by research is that they can have a direct track at the PhD entrance case without completing a 1 year's master's over there. Now, next is academic bank of credits for credit storage and transfer. This I will be taking in detail. What is academic bank of credits? And this is flexibility for students to rejoin education at different stages. This is when you are having a multiple exit, then there will be an options for multiple entry also. But remember one thing, taking an exit is easier for the student. Gaining an entry is difficult because it all depends upon that how many seats are reserved for the lateral entry available at that level. Maybe suppose at the end of the 1st year, I have taken an exit, and after say 2 years time, I want to come back into the stream at 2nd year. It all depends that in that particular case, how many vacancies are available. Suppose I have got 5 vacancies available and 10 students are coming for a lateral entry at the 2nd year level, then there will be either a competition or there will be a merit which will be deciding that who will be the 5 students who will be joining the 2nd year at the multiple entry level. This is some of the rules which are going to be framed, and these are the rules which we are going to frame in AMU over there. Skill development and employability, integration of vocational education into mainstream education. More and more emphasis is to be paid to the courses which is giving you imparting vocational education, as well as the courses which are more employment generating courses are over there. These type of courses are to be given. Skill development courses, vocational education based courses are to be implemented into this thing. So whenever you are designing your curriculum, and suppose if you are designing a curriculum for FIUP 4-year undergraduate program, this is to be based around 160 to 176 credits. So at least 20 to 40 credits, 20 to 30 credits, they should be devoted to vocational courses or to the skill development courses. So whenever a student goes out after completing the degree, they are having this type of experience available at their hand. So all the institutions, they have to basically make arrangements for courses which will be employment generating courses or skill development courses. Focus on internships and practical learning. More and more focus is to be given to internships and practical learning. Now, there is one problem associated with this thing, because with the internships, there is the government says that the universities or the education institutions, they have to send their students to some outside agencies, and over there. Now, the question arises that who is going to pay? What will be the financial implication, because universities are not in a position to pay for this thing, whether the government will pay or whether the students who are going to the industry tie-up, whether the industry will be paying over there. These type of nitty-gritties are already over there, and people, they are looking into this thing. But the idea behind this thing is that internships, they should be incorporated, and students, they should be sent for at least 1 month, 2 month, 3 month internships to the industries. But now, how this is to be done, this is basically to be taken care of by the respective institutes, that what is the mechanism by which they can achieve this thing, because this basically have some financial implications on this also. Collaboration with the industries for real-world skills and job readiness. This is the thing. That means at least there should be mandatory internships available with the industry. So universities, they are basically supposed to have collaboration with the industry people. Whatever your students, they should be sent maybe for 1 month, maybe for 2 months, 3 months over there for internship purpose. They will be having the industry exposure over there. Now, as I just told you, that there will be some financial implications to this thing, and this is to be looked upon into. Digital transformation in higher education. Increased use of online platforms and digital content. This I've just told you, use of SWAM platform, use of Moodle, use of other platforms like NPTEL and other platforms are there. So this is very, very important. More and more emphasis is to be paid in order to have the use of the online platforms and digital contents which is available over there. Creation of virtual labs and open digital resources. Lot of people, they are having this type of problems. Now you see what is the virtual lab. In case virtual lab, what is over there? Maybe there may be basically, you can say, a cluster of 4 or 5 institutes, and then one of the institute is having a advanced lab. Other institutes, they might not be in a position to develop that sort of lab facilities. So they can have a collaboration, and then there will be some virtual digital operations can be done, where the other institutes, they can basically use the resources of that particular institute who is having the virtual the lab facilities. And this access is to be done virtually. That means you are sitting in your institute, and then using the internet communication technologies and other things, you can have an access over this thing. So these type of things are basically going to fall under the category of digital transformation in higher education. Development of National Education Technology Forum. This is another platform which is going to be developed. The government is already working on to this direction. Establishment of National Research Foundation, NRF. There should be for higher education, for research funding. NRF is to be found, National Research Foundation is to be developed, and where the people, they will be joining this thing. All funding, all research-based activities are to be done via this NRF. Promotes interdisciplinary research and innovation. More and more emphasis is going to be paid. That means it should not be there if you belong to English stream, that you are simply conducting the research into English stream only. They say that you should basically collaborate with computer science people, you should collaborate with IT people in order to have some new things coming into your English part, maybe developing language models, maybe developing some different translation models, whatever the case may be. These are few examples which I have given over there. So promote interdisciplinary research and innovation. Focus on fostering a research culture in universities. More and more focus is to be done in fostering and developing the research culture in the universities. Challenges in everything is having a challenge. Challenges in implementation, ensuring infrastructure and faculty readiness. Faculty should be ready, and there should be proper infrastructure available at the institute level. Then and only then you can go in for this interdisciplinary research and all those things. Aligning existing courses with the NEP guidelines. Another important thing is that we are already having few courses. We are running those courses for years and years, for the last 20 years, 30 years. Same courses, same curriculum is being taught. We are revising that curriculum, but that particular curriculum is not in line with the national education policy. And if you want to bring that particular curriculum in line with the national education policy, lot of resources, lot of funds are required. Now, currently, this fund and these resources are not available. So this is one of the challenges which is over there when it comes to implementation of national education policy vis-a-vis NEP guidelines. Bridging the digital divide for equitable access. Lot of say what is happening. Your metropolitan cities, your higher cities, which is better cities, middle class cities, they are having better internet infrastructure. But if you move to the interior part, if you move to basically to villages, there you are not even having proper internet facilities, then how you will be using this thing? So this digital divide is over there. How to bridge this digital divide between the institutes which are available in higher cities or in medium cities vis-a-vis institutes which are available at a remote area where this electronic facilities are not available, where these digital facilities are not available. So this type of problems are there. So this bridging the digital divide for equitable access is another very important challenge. Creating awareness among stakeholders. Stakeholders, teachers are the stakeholders, institutes are the stakeholders, students are the stakeholders. So then there should be a proper awareness programs to be run in order to create this thing. Because whenever you want to create awareness, you will be requiring funds. Now there is a problem. Institutes, they are already having fund crunch. So they are not in a position to provide funds over there. Government also says that we are not having funds. You just try to create this awareness at your end only, use your means only. So this is the problem. This is the problem which we are also facing at AMU, that it is basically difficult in order to create awareness programs. What we can at maximum is doing is that whatever policy we are making, we are putting that policy documents, each and every document is being put into we have just created an NEP link over there on the AMU website. And whatever documents, whatever work we have done, we are putting it over there, and it is under the open access. Anybody can access over there, whatever rules we have framed, whatever we have done. So this is a type of thing which we are just trying to basically make some awareness programs. We are constantly writing to deans and chairmen in order to implement this thing. So this type of thing which we are basically trying to do in AMU, but it is not enough. The reason being is that we do not have sufficient funds available for doing this type of activities. Conclusion, NEP 2020 envisions a transformative higher education system that is flexible, inclusive, and aligned with global standards. With proper implementation, it can empower students and drive India's growth. Now, I'm just stopping here for a moment, and I would like to ask you that if you are having any queries up to this part, I think it will be better to have a query session here only for 5 minutes, and then I'll move into the academic bank of credits and National Academic Depository. So if you want to ask something vis-a-vis this thing, you can just ask me. I would like to clarify the things here. Any questions, any queries? Can you hear me, or is it a one-way transmission? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We are listening to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are hearing you.
Okay. Is there any query or not? That is the question. Or should I continue?
Everything is okay, sir, till now.
Okay, fine. That is because I have just made the slides in such a way that I've tried to cover each and everything. And I'm just, wherever there is a gap over there, I'm just trying to explain it there and there only. Still, if you are having any problem, queries to be put over there, you can just ask me there and there only. Okay, I'm just continuing from the next part. Vocational education, if time permits, I'll come back to this thing at a later stage. I just want to go to the National Academic Depository because that is a very important part of this national education policy. I'll come back to this at a later stage if the time permits. Now, holistic and multidisciplinary education, this I'll just touch upon and then I'll move there. NEP 2020 envisions an education system that develops intellectual, social, physical, emotional, and ethical dimensions of learners. This is the first important feature of the holistic and multidisciplinary education. That means it should not be like this thing when if you are having an engineering education, it should be only limited to engineering, only about machines, that's all. They say when you are having holistic education, it should be a holistic development of the student, of the candidate. It should be on the engineering side, it should be on the economical side, it should be on the social side also. This type of holistic development should be there. Basically, it is based on the development of the intellectual, social, physical, emotional, and ethical dimensions of the learners. So each and everything is to be targeted rather than keeping it as a unidimensional or unidisciplinary. Breaks disciplinary boundaries for a well-rounded understanding. Objectives, what are the objectives of this thing? Prepare learners for complex real-world challenges by integrating diverse knowledge areas. Key features of holistic and multidisciplinary education. Flexible curricula encouraging exploration across disciplines. Multiple entry and exit options. This I have discussed earlier, that for holistic and multidisciplinary education, a multiple entry and multiple exit option is there. And this, if you simply go over, it is basically somehow related to social part. You might be asking me how social. The question is, suppose due to some social reason, some reason or the other, a particular candidate is not in a position to continue his or her education. In earlier system, what was happening, suppose after 2 years, they were not able to continue their education. It was all going a-bagging, and that means they were losing their 2 years of education, whatever they have learned over there, because they were not getting any certificate, any thing vis-a-vis their course completion part. But now, in this thing, even if due to some reason or the other, if they have to leave the education, they will be having a certificate or they will be having a diploma. So at least that part of whatever they have learned, this is going to be there. So it will be basically giving them a little bit of social strength also, something like this. So it is somehow related to this social part, multiple entry exceptions. Promotion of arts, sciences, sports, and vocational skills together. This is another thing. As I just told you, engineering doesn't mean, so science or medical science doesn't mean it should be purely medical, it should be purely engineering, it should be purely science. It should be a combination of all these things. If you are having a bachelor's, national education policy says you should be having the courses on dance classes, you should have courses on musical classes, you should have courses on science, you should have courses on humanities, you should have courses on English literature, you should have courses on languages and all these things. That means it should be a heterogeneous things rather than having a homogeneous thing. That means mix of all type of streams, so which is basically giving you a holistic development of the candidate rather than having a unidirectional or unidimensional development. Focus on experiential and practical learning. This is more and more experimental learning is to be done and more practical learning is to be done. Implementation strategies, how this is to be done, establishment of multidisciplinary institutions, HEIs. Now, this I have just touched upon a little bit earlier, that what they have said is all universities, whether it is state universities, central university, private universities, they are generally multidisciplinary. So there is no problem with the university system. But as I told you, IITs, they are unidisciplinary because they were only catering to the requirements of the engineering side. Similarly, you were having some other institutes, maybe medical sciences. So this is time they have asked all these institutes to convert themselves into multidisciplinary education giving institutes. And I'll give you the example, adoption of academic bank of credits for credit transfer. This is to be done. The major advantage of academic bank of credit is, suppose as a student, if I have earned few credits from AMU, and at a later stage, I just want to go to Delhi University. So I may tell Delhi University that these are the courses which I have studied from AMU, and if these credits are equivalent to your credits, there is no sense in myself studying these courses again and again. You please transfer my credits which I have earned from AMU into Delhi University credits, and I may be exempted from passing those courses, and the credits which I have earned at AMU will be transferred to Delhi University. So this is the basic objective regarding the academic bank of credit, and this is a very, very powerful scheme vis-a-vis mobility of the students from one institute to the other institute. This I will be discussing in detail when I will come back to the ABC part. Integration of vocational education within mainstream curricula. Collaboration between institutions for interdisciplinary programs. This is another thing is, as I just told you, that you can always make a cluster of institutions. That means lot of institutes, they can basically come in collaboration with each other and they can have an interdisciplinary discussions over there. Examples of holistic and multidisciplinary education. Now, first example is IITs introducing humanities. IIT Chennai has already introduced courses on humanities. They have already introduced courses on BA. NIT Jalandhar is already running a bachelor's education program in BA, BEd or BSc BEd like of programs. They are basically already running by NIT Jalandhar. And so for lot of NITs and lot of IITs, they have already started turning themselves into a multidisciplinary higher education institute. It's offering courses in philosophy, literature, sociology alongside engineering. They are teaching engineering along this thing. Either they will be giving you the degrees or they will be giving you the courses which may be integrated with the engineering degree over there. Private universities, liberal arts program combining science, arts, and commerce subjects. Lot of private universities, they are coming in Delhi, NCR area towards Gurgaon. You might be finding Ashoka University, other universities. They all are private universities, and they are basically giving you more and more in liberal arts program combining with science, arts, and commerce subjects. So this is basically the idea of holistic and multidisciplinary education. Skill development integration courses blending AI and ethics or environmental science and policy. Skill development integration courses like artificial intelligence. As you know, AI is basically picking up like anything, and they are the idea of this thing is that all these things, they should be having a flavor of AI into this thing. Maybe a course in arts or maybe a course in humanities. There you are having a program. Some courses of artificial intelligence may be introduced over there. And then the use of AI in humanities, then the use of AI in arts, this should be basically done over there. So this is the idea regarding this. NEP model schools promoting sports, arts, and academics equally. This type of things are there. Benefits for students and society. What are the benefits of holistic and multidisciplinary education? For students, the benefits are broader knowledge base. Now they will not be only limited to, suppose if we talk about IITs and NITs, they will not be limited to engineering knowledge only. They will be given a flavor of all other type of knowledges over there. Then enhance creativity and critical thinking. It will basically enhance their creativity, and it will simply give them a critical thinking thing. Ideas will be coming to their mind. Engineering student, they might be thinking about the social problems also. They might be thinking about problems in humanities. They might be thinking about problems in art side. This type of things are over there. Improved employability through diverse skills. More and more employability through diverse skills. This is another important part. So more and more employability over there. That means your salability of the student is to be increased like this thing. This is the benefits for the student. For society, what you are getting, better informed citizens will be there. So suppose, imagine one thing, an engineering student is basically given few courses in, say, medical training, or say few courses in nursing, few courses in paramedics. Sometimes, suppose, God forbid, some accident happens and the engineering student is going on board. And if that student already knows the work of a paramedic, he or she may be in a position to help the accident victims over there. To see how great this is going to be a beneficiary for the society. This is the major advantage of these type of activities with this national education policy. Innovation-driven economy. the country's economy is basically going to be more and more innovation driven rather than based on previous classical things only, reading history, reading this. Now they say you read history very good, you read English very good, but along with this thing, you should be having the knowledge of other things also. Solutions to complex global challenges. Challenges in implementation. Resistance to change from traditional systems. This I just told you. This is a big problem. Even in AMU, we face this resistance. Why you are doing this thing? What is the use? What will be the advantage if a student of physics is going to be taught, say, sociology, or if a student of physics is going to be taught political science, how this is going to help? These type of problems we have also faced over there. And everywhere, every institute who is going to implement NEP, they will be facing this thing. And you have to basically find a way out for doing this thing. So there is a change there is always a resistance to change from traditional system. So the same is also happening here also. And vis-a-vis NEP 2020 also, it is going to be there. But basically, you have to implement this thing. The government is constantly taking review meetings and they are constantly asking you how much you have done. And they are not only saying that you implement this thing. Every month they are having the meetings and they say how much you have done. Last time in the meeting you have told you have converted 5 courses. After 1 year, 1 month, how many more courses you have converted? After 3 months, how many more courses you are going to convert? This type of continuous evaluation is basically done by the Ministry of Education. So now they are literally forcing you to go into this thing. So even if the resistance is coming from the traditional systems, you have to go in for this thing. There is no way out other than this. Need for faculty training and multidisciplinary approaches. This is a major problem this we are facing at AMU, and then all other institutes, they too will be facing this thing, because faculty training is very difficult. Suppose what is happening, a student of, say, computer science, they say, in our opinion, earlier they were not given any courses on economics, but now under the National Education Policy 2020, they are free to choose a subject on economics. They can take minor in economics over there. Now the problem is this, that the faculty available in the Department of Economics is limited. They are only capable of catering to, say, about 200 students. Now 100 students of computer science also goes to the economics department and say, we want to study economics. Then there is a problem, because the people, they will not be in a position to take the classes, because the faculty available in the Department of Economics will be limited, and they will not be in a position to cater to the requirement of 300 students, because the faculty was only available for catering to the need of 200 students. So these are the problems which are going to be there in implementation of the National Education Policy. Infrastructure and resource constraints. Infrastructure constraints, specifically in science-based courses, engineering-based courses, there will be a problem over there, because labs are limited in size. The labs, they are only capable of taking care of, say, 50 students, 60 students, at maximum 100 students. Now 200 students comes and say that we want to study biochemistry, we want to study, say, computer science. And how we are going to cater to this thing? This is the problem. So these type of challenges are there in implementation of National Education Policy. Ensuring equity and inclusivity in access to the diverse programs. Once again, inclusivity and equity in diverse programs, it is basically difficult to have this thing. So how you are going to ensure this thing? This is another important problem. Roadmap for effective implementation. What is the roadmap which can be done? Policy alignment at institutional and national levels. What the National Education Policy at the government level says, institutions must align themselves according to this thing. Sooner or later, they have to align. So it is better to align as early as possible. This is another thing. Capacity building for educators. As a faculty member, your capacity is to be built. Your capacity is to be increased. I'll just give you an example. For example, in computer science department, we are a faculty of 15, 16 faculty members. We are already catering to the, you want to ask something?
तनवीर भाई आपका माइक ऑन है, म्यूट कर लीजिए। तनवीर सर आप म्यूट कर लीजिए।
Is it okay?
तनवीर सर आपका माइक ऑन हो गया है, म्यूट कर लीजिए।
हम तो आने के लिए, हम तो अपने साथ में
एडमिन से कोई
एक गाड़ी के बारे में सुना है।
म्यूट कर दीजिए एडमिन
नहीं वो आ रहा है।
Should I continue?
लेकिन तुझे बुरा मत मानिए, सीनियर है आप, लेकिन ना थोड़ा सा आप ना बहुत प्यार में
ऐसा है गाड़ी के पीछे इधर
हाँ,
Hello? Hello? Is there any problem? Hello? Can you hear me?
लगता है सर ठीक हो गया।
Is it okay?
ओके सर।
Should I continue?
जी सर।
Okay.
क्या बोले क्या है इकबाल भाई? बोले क्या बात कर रहे हैं? कुछ बोले आपको? हमको कुछ नहीं बोला, हमसे तो बातें नहीं हुई। आप बोले कि फॉर्मूला के वो चुनने बोला ना, चुनी जब बात की कहाँ पे?
तनवीर भाई
I
अपना
think
ऑडियो ऑफ
somebody's-
करिए प्लीज।
I think somebody's mic is open.
तो वो है
Please.
और खराब आईफोन आया था।
एडमिन से
तनवीर भाई
को म्यूट कर दे।
Please mute your mic.
शिब्बे
sir.
का चुनने को फोन लगा तो
तनवीर भाई अपना ऑडियो बंद कर लें प्लीज।
Should I continue?
यस सर प्लीज सर।
Okay. Increase investment in infrastructure. Increase investment in infrastructure. Regular monitoring and feedback mechanisms should be there. Holistic and multidisciplinary education under NEP 2020 aims to develop well-rounded individuals. This is the first important objective of this thing. Second is foster innovation and creativity. Equip learners with the skills to navigate the complexities of the modern world. This approach will pave the way for a sustainable and inclusive future. Now I'm just moving into the next important topic, that is National Academic Depository. I'm running out of time because now we are moving into the question and answer session, but I'll just continue over the National Academic Depository. लोगों के माइक खुले हुए हैं एक्चुअली।
हेलो
एक तो डॉक्टर तनवीर and डॉक्टर जमाल काजमी's mic is open. And डॉक्टर तनवीर, डॉक्टर जमाल काजमी, please mute your mic. डॉक्टर तनवीर, please mute your mic.
अभी तुम लोग की गाड़ी पीछे है।
Now,
हाँ सर वो हम
यस सर प्लीज सर।
should I continue now?
यस सर
प्लीज।
मुझे बता दिएगा यार। Is it visible now? Screen is visible?
या इट इज विजिबल सर।
यस सर।
This National Academic Depository.
जी
Fine. Now, National Academic Depository, this is a very, very important feature of National Education Policy 2020. I'm just starting because NET is a digital platform that stores and manages academic records securely for quick and verified access. This is another important thing of NEP 2020. Digitally stores academic credentials, verifies educational qualifications quickly and securely, accessible by employers, institutions, and students. Now, there are three stakeholders to this thing. Employers are the stakeholders, institutions are the stakeholders, and the students are the stakeholders. Once a result is declared by an institution of a student, the record is to be transferred or uploaded on the National Academic Depository, and National Academic Depository is accessible through DigiLocker platform. Now these three stakeholders are there, employers are there, institutions are there, students are there. Once the result is declared, the result is to be uploaded by the institution on the National Academic Depository, and these results, they will be accessible to the students, to the employers, and to the verifiers through the DigiLocker platform. Now, this I'll just give you in detail like how this is working over there and what is the mechanism of this thing. So once the record is available over there, now there is no need for the institution to issue the mark sheets and the degrees. This is a very, very important feature. Once all the records are stored or uploaded on the National Academic Depository, the institutions will no longer be required to provide the mark sheet to the students. They will no longer be required to provide the degrees or degree. If they feel like they can provide a physical degree, but all these records, they will be uploaded over there. And whatever you are downloading from the DigiLocker platform, that will be considered as a valid and legal valid copy of the degree and the mark sheet. And that is over there. And this is the responsibility of the institution to simply load the properly verified degree on the National Academic Depository. This is the important thing for this thing. And as I told you, there will be three stakeholders to this thing. One is the employer. Employers can always verify the credentials of the student through this platform. Institutions, they can always verify. Suppose I'm studying at AMU. After completing my graduation, I moved to Delhi University, and Delhi University wants to have the verification of my academic records of AMU. They can always view this thing on the DigiLocker platform, that what credits, what degree I have earned from AMU. So this type of transfer of electronic records is over there, and there will be no. Currently, what is happening, some student gives the mark sheet, a photocopy of that thing, and later, at a later stage, we find it out that it was tampered, some type of manipulation was done on the mark sheet, and they have used a fake mark sheet. All these things, they are going to be eliminated when you are making use of the National Academic Depository. Objectives of National Academic Depository. The NAD was created to achieve the following: digital record storage, ensure all academic records are stored securely and digitally. This was the first basic idea. Ensure all academic records are stored securely and digitally. That means the records which an institution, once a student appears in the examination, once his or her result is prepared, that result will be in the digital form uploaded on the National Academic Depository. And that National Academic Depository will be accessible through DigiLocker platform. That means DigiLocker app is over there. I think everybody is using DigiLocker app. Now this DigiLocker app is basically being used to access this information. That is, all these digital records, they will be accessible from DigiLocker. Then authenticity verification. Reduce document fraud by enabling fast and transparent verification of credentials. As I just told you, that in case of the physical degree, the people, they were tampering with the degrees, they were making changes over there in the degree, changing year, changing marks, whatever the case may be. Now it will be going to be a totally tamper-proof. Once the institution is uploading the marks on National Academic Depository, they are made a permanent feature over there, and nobody is able to change those marks once they are uploaded over there, except the institution which has basically given this, uploaded that particular marks. Only those institutions, they will be in a position to modify the marks. No other person can modify. They can only download the marks, they can only view the marks, they can only verify the marks or the certificate, whatever the case may be. Ease of access, facilitate instant and efficient access for stakeholders. Now, what are the stakeholders? Universities, employers, and students. These three will be the stakeholders. As I just told you, as a student, if I'm just moving into some other institution, that other institution might be verifying my record from my parent institution. So in that case, the other university will be the stakeholder. If I'm going for employment, the employer will simply check the details on the DigiLocker platform, that whether the degrees which I have given over there, whether they are genuine or not. So employers will be a stakeholder, and student will always be a stakeholder, because they will be having their own records, and then they might be applying in foreign universities or somewhere. So they can always download the record from there. And the mark sheet which they are going to download and print, it is electronically and digitally verified mark sheet, and it is acceptable throughout the world. In majority of the countries, out of the possible 197, 198 countries, more than 150, 160 countries are accepting the mark sheets downloaded through DigiLocker. This I'm just telling you as an information right now. And even a lot of universities, foreign universities, they are even asking you that you simply provide us a degree which is downloaded through our mark sheet, downloaded through DigiLocker platform, rather than giving us a physical copy of that particular thing or a photocopy of that. Data integrity. ensure confidentiality and security through advanced technological encryption methods. That means once the record is uploaded on the National Academic Depository, that is not stored there as a plain mask. It is basically converted into a coded mask, so nobody can see over there except the system. Nobody can see what is over there. I think so. I will just give you an example here. You might have heard something regarding this thing, that the chatting or the calls between WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. End-to-end encrypted means that whatever you are talking, whatever you are saying, if somebody is able to access that information from the channel in between, it is totally scrambled. If somebody is basically accessing that information, they will not be in a position to unscramble this. They will not be in a position to know that what matter you have sent or what talk you have basically given over there, what message you have sent, if that particular message is basically being tracked in between the receiver and the sender. The same way is over here also. When the records are stored, they are digitally encrypted. That means even if somebody is able to gain access to this thing, they will not be able to alter the mask. They will not be able to see the mask. The proper mask can only be seen through the digital locker platform, which is available over there. How NET works? Step 1, universities upload academic records securely to the NET platform. As an institution, we have been given account, all institutions who are basically the signatory to the National Academic Depository, they are basically given a NET account over there, and they will be simply uploading their records through their respective university accounts onto this thing, and their record will be maintained over there. Student employers access these records using login credentials. So there will be a login, there will be a password. Only those people who are having a login and password credentials, only those people, they can access the information. No one else can access this information over there. Verification can be performed by third parties. Now, this is important part of this thing, that verification can be performed by third parties. Recruitment agencies can verify, institutions can verify, employers can verify, students can always download their record. So suppose you know what is happening now. A lot of people, they are basically belonging to institutions right now in this group. So sometimes when a student passes from your institution, and if they are going for some job, then that particular employer is asking to verify their degree. So this can be done basically online only, and now no longer that degree will be coming to your institution for verification purpose. Or even if somebody is sending a degree to you for verification purpose, you can simply return that degree and tell them that you go to the DigiLocker platform and verify it from there. And whatever is available on the DigiLocker platform, that is basically the authenticated information regarding the degree of that particular student or the mark sheet of that particular student. Step 4, records are tamper-proof and verified digitally to ensure this thing. Key stakeholders of NET: students to store, access, and share their academic records securely. One of the key stakeholders, as I told you, students are there, institutions are there, employers are there. Students, they will be storing their result. They can access their information. They can share their information, academic record over there. Remember one thing, even it is over there, as an employer or as a verifier, whatever the case may be, my record as a student cannot be shared with anybody unless and until I give the permission to do so. So if somebody wants to verify the record on DigiLocker platform, a request will be sent to me as a student that somebody wants to verify your record, whether you give the permission or not. If I say I grant the permission, they will ask me the login and password credentials from me. Then and only then the permission will be granted to the verifier that you can see the record of that particular student. This is the level of security available in the National Academic Depository. Educational institutions for secure storage and validation of academic achievements. All educational institutions, they are now bound to upload their records over there, and they have to do this thing. Lot of institutions, the faculty members, they are already available over there. Their institutions, they have been directed by the Ministry of Education that by 31st December of 2024, that means just up to 3 or 4 days up to this level, they have to upload the records on National Academic Depository. After this, their students' record will not be accepted on National Academic Depository. The deadline for doing this thing is 31st December 2024. So after 4 days, nobody will be permitted to upload the records on the National Academic Depository. Then employers, for quick and secure verification of credentials before hiring. This is another thing that I've just told you. So these are the three major stakeholders: students, educational institutions, and employers. Government bodies to track educational qualifications and streamline administrative processes. The government bodies are also the stakeholders of this. Government bodies kya hai? University Grant Commission is the government body. Ministry of Education is there. Higher Education, HEI, just I just told you, the Commission of India, HECI, they are going to form. They may also become a government stakeholder to this thing. So these people, they will be able to access the record which is available on the National Academic Depository. Universities and colleges act as data providers and custodians of academic data. Features of National Academic Depository: secure digital storage. All records are securely encrypted. As I told you, if I am saying my marks are, say, 70 out of 100, it will not, when it will be stored on the DigiLocker platform or National Academic Depository, it will not be recorded there as 70. It will be recorded as some number, ABC 32456, some encrypted number. So even if somebody is able to access this thing, they will not be able to know that what is the actual number behind this thing. Only DigiLocker platform will be able to decrypt this thing. Instant access for employers and institutions. Quick access, instant access for employers and institutions. Real-time document verification. This is the most important thing. Suppose if I apply in a foreign university and the foreign university says within 48 hours you have to give us a verified document. So I will just give them the DigiLocker platform credentials. I will ask them, you verify from there, and within minutes the record will be verified over there, whether it will be verified or whether it will be rejected, but that will be done in real time only. This is the major advantage of the National Academic Depository. Multi-platform access, accessible across devices. Multiplayer, that means through mobile, through desktop, through iPads, whatever digital devices you are having, through tablets, you can always access these things. The multi-platform access is there. It is not at all necessary that you need to have a laptop, you need to have a desktop, you need to have mobile only. Any digital device which is available at your disposal, you can make use of this thing in order to have the access to the National Academic Depository through mobile, through laptop, through iTab, through iPad, through tablets, whatever this. Whatever digital devices available, you can make use of this thing in order to access the data. Ease of use, designed with user-friendly interfaces for all stakeholders. Paperless documentation promotes a shift towards a completely digital system. That means it is basically moving towards a paperless office. That means there will be no mark sheets, no degrees, everything available digitally. People, they are simply seeing over there. If somebody needs a paper thing, just bring it down, download it on your system, print it, and then give it to them. In most of the time, there will be no paperwork, no paper marks will be given, no degrees will be given, everything will be available straight away in the online. Benefits of NAD: students easy access to transcripts, degrees, and certificates, secure verification of qualifications, improved administrative efficiency and credibility, enhanced data accuracy for research and governance for the system. It reduces delays and risk associated with traditional paper verification methods, enhances transparency, and reduces fraud. NAD and data security. This I have the last point which I'm just covering under National Academic Depository. Encryption. All data is encrypted using advanced technology. Authentication layers, multi-level access mechanisms are there. That means through OTP, through your login password. These type of multiple level accesses are available. Then and only then you will be able to access the record. It is not like this thing that you simply say, give login, give password, and you are able to access this. There will be an OTP coming to your registered mobile number. The system tries to basically authenticate this thing that you are the really intended user of this thing or not. Or if by mistake, if somebody has got some controls of your login and credential and they're just trying to break into the system. So it's a multi-level authentication systems are available. Data protection laws, compliance with national and international data privacy frameworks, audit trails. Every access request is logged to ensure transparency. Every time anybody accesses the data, their audit trail is basically made. Each and every access record is basically stored there on the servers over there. If I access this thing, if you access, if the student access, if the employer access, each and every access is recorded in the servers of this National Academic Depository. At what time the access was done, from which IP address it was accessed, what was the login credentials, from where it was accessed. Each and every information is recorded over there. So in case if there is any fraud detected, they will be very easily tracked down that who committed the fraud and how it was basically done. Challenges and future of NAD. Challenges: ensuring integration with all institutions and academic bodies, ensuring cybersecurity and protection from breaches, ensuring universal adoption by public and private institutions. Future perspective: widespread adoption across all Indian universities and sectors. This is now mandatory. You have to do, as I just told you, 31st December 2024 is the deadline. After this, other universities will not be permitted. And in my knowledge, almost more than 90% universities, institutions, private, or whatever you name them, they all have onboarded on the National Academic Depository. Improve technological advancements in security and accessibility. NAD expansion to include other professional certifications and vocational courses. National Academic Depository represents a paradigm shift in managing, sharing, and verifying academic credentials. NAD offers transparency, ease of access, and security for students, employers, and educational institutions. As NAD evolves, it promises a seamless digital future for credentials verification in India. I'm stopping here. We'll just have a 5-10 minutes question answer session. If you feel like, you can just ask me.
Thank you, sir.
Just move into this.
Dear teachers, if you have any question or query, you can ask your question.
Whether the talk was useful for you or not, all these things you just
Very useful. I actually बहुत सारी बातें क्लियर हुई इसमें about NEP और उसके एम्स के लेकर, खासकर ये आपने नेट पर जो डिस्कशन दिया।
नेट का तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मैं एबीसी तो मैं कवर नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि एबीसी अनदर हाफ एन आवर ले देता। वो नेट का ही डेरिवेटिव है एबीसी जो है।
एबीसी आईडी स्टूडेंट्स को मिलता है।
एबीसी आईडी मैंडेटरी हो गई एबीसी आईडी, और अब तो एबीसी आईडी स्कूल से मैंडेटरी कर दी है।
सर ये अपार आईडी बन रहा है स्कूल में।
वो एक ही चीज है अपार आईडी एबीसी आईडी, इट इज द सेम थिंग।
अच्छा।
वो मतलब एबीसी आईडी को उन्होंने एक्सपेंडेड नाम दे दिया अपार, ऑटोमेटिक परमानेंट अकाउंट रजिस्ट्री आईडी जो है। अपार आईडी एबीसी आईडी इज द सेम थिंग।
तो एक ही ये में बन रहा है या दोनों का अलग अलग वेबसाइट है इस तरह?
नहीं, वो सब डिजिटल लॉकर के थ्रू बनेगा। सारी चीजें
जाएंगी वही नेट पे ही,
नेट पे जाएंगी सारी चीजें,
एंड दैट विल बी एक्सेसिबल थ्रू डिजी लॉकर।
एक्चुअली एबीसी आईडी जो है वो आपके जैसे बैंक का अकाउंट नंबर होता है, जिसका बैंक अकाउंट नंबर है, वैसे एकेडमिक अकाउंट नंबर है आपका। और आपकी जितने भी आपने कोर्सेज पास किए हैं उनके क्रेडिट्स जो है वो स्टोर हो जाएंगे एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट में। एंड देन यू कैन ऑलवेज, जैसे आप अपना पैसा निकालते हैं वैसे अपने कोर्सेज को जो है वो वहां से जो है मतलब वो कर सकते हैं, विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं कोर्सेज को, कि मैंने इन कोर्सेज को एनकैश कर लिया, मैं इस डिग्री में जा रहा हूँ और मैंने यहाँ पे अगर सपोज के मेरे पास 30 क्रेडिट्स थे तो मैं 30 क्रेडिट में से मैं 15 क्रेडिट्स रिडीम कर लेता हूँ मैं अपने जो है। तो इस टाइप का मैकेनिज्म है।
अगेन सर यू वर टॉकिंग अबाउट मल्टीपल एंट्री एंड मल्टीपल एग्जिट।
या
जहां तक हम लोगों को पता था कि जब एग्जिट करने से पहले एक इंटर्नशिप होना जरूरी है बच्चों का।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है। ये इंस्टीट्यूशन के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है। इट इज टोटली इंस्टीट्यूशन डिपेंडेंट। अगर इंस्टीट्यूशन ने अपनी पॉलिसी के अंदर इंटर्नशिप को मैंडेटरी किया है तो देन इट इज ओवर देयर। अदरवाइज ये है कि जो आपके फर्स्ट ईयर की क्रेडिट्स हैं वो सारे क्लियर हो गए। लेकिन वंस अगेन आई एम रिइटरेटिंग दिस थिंग दैट इट इज टोटली इंस्टीट्यूशन डिपेंडेंट।
मोहित सर एग्जिट के लिए इंटर्नशिप कंपलसरी नहीं है। इंटर्नशिप को का शर्त ये है कोला झारखंड में कि सेमेस्टर 5 से पहले इंटर्नशिप कराना है बच्चों को।
नहीं, मैं एक एनईपी के ओरिएंटेशन में था तो वहां पर पानी सर बता रहे थे कि अगर सेकंड सेमेस्टर में एग्जिट करना है तो एक इंटर्नशिप कर लेगा तभी उसको ये मिलेगा।
नहीं, वो ये मैंडेटरी नहीं है। मैंने आपको
नहीं।
इसीलिए बताया कि ये इंस्टीट्यूशन बेस्ड पॉलिसी है, मतलब लेकिन मतलब जो एनईपी पॉलिसी इस बात को मैंडेट नहीं करती है। वो कहती है आपके अगर मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे हमारे यहाँ जो है एएमयू में हम 44 क्रेडिट पे, हमारा 1 ईयर जो है 44 क्रेडिट का है, ज्यादातर इंस्टीट्यूशंस में 40 क्रेडिट का है। तो अगर हमारे यहाँ से कोई एग्जिट लेगा तो उसको 44 क्रेडिट करने हैं, ना कि 40 क्रेडिट्स जो है। तो इट इज इंस्टीट्यूशन बेस्ड बेसिकली जो है। और
जी जी, इट इज ऑल अ मैटर ऑफ क्रेडिट।
हाँ,
उसका
it is-
क्रेडिट
it is
स्कोर उतना
purely
हो
based
गया,
on
then you
credit,
can leave.
जो आपने फर्स्ट ईयर में जितने क्रेडिट किए हैं। और यूजीसी ये कहती है कि आपकी 4 ईयर डिग्री जो है 160 क्रेडिट से कम नहीं होनी चाहिए, ठीक है।
Right.
तो
Yes,
हमने हमारी जो 4 ईयर डिग्री है वो 176 क्रेडिट पे है। दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी की भी 176 क्रेडिट पे है। तो डीयू एएमयू हम सब 176 पे चल रहे हैं। यूजीसी कहती है मिनिमम 160 होना चाहिए, 160 से नीचे नहीं होना चाहिए।
महेश
थैंक यू
सर,
सर। जी सर, हाँ आले सर, बोलिए सर।
सोहेल सर से एक सवाल पूछना था।
जी जी बताइए।
ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के तहत जो बच्चे सिलेबस में पढ़ रहे हैं,
जी
तो क्या गवर्नमेंट की ऐसी कोई पॉलिसी है कि जैसा अभी आप लोग इंटर्नशिप की भी बात कर रहे थे कि इंटर्नशिप बच्चों ने कर लिया
जी
तो
जी
फर्दर उनको इंटर डिसिप्लिनरी जॉब ओरिएंटेड कुछ उनको क्या जॉब अगर लेना चाहेंगे
जी।
तो उसके उसके चैनलाइज हो के जॉब
अगर उनकी उस इंटर्नशिप से, देखिए ऐसा है कि मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं, बहुत सिंपल सा इसका लॉजिक क्या है कि सपोज कि मैं गया और मैंने मतलब बीए किया इकोनॉमिक्स से, और मैंने एक इंटर्नशिप करी, और इंटर्नशिप मैंने अकाउंटिंग में करी जाके 3 महीने, और मैंने वहां कुछ चीज सीख ली बहुत अच्छी जो है, और मैं उस कंपनी में जाता हूँ कि साहब मुझे अकाउंटिंग आती है। तो आप जो है अगर आप उस कंपनी के मालिक हैं तो नॉर्मली आप इस चीज को नहीं वो करेंगे कि मेरी डिग्री इकोनॉमिक्स में है नहीं, आपको तो क्योंकि कंपनी चलानी है, आप कहेंगे भाई तुम्हें अकाउंटिंग का काम आता है और मेरा काम चल रहा है तो यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम ओवर हियर। ये लॉजिक है गवर्नमेंट का कि भाई अगर आपको किसी सब्जेक्ट के बारे में आइडिया है या किसी चीज की इंटर्नशिप है और आपको उसकी नॉलेज है, एक्सपीरियंस है आपको उस चीज का, तो मतलब जो है मतलब बेसिक आइडिया यही है कि आप मूव कर सकते हैं, मतलब इधर उधर से, मतलब एक फिक्स पाथ ना लेके आप इधर उधर डेविएट कर सकते हैं।
मेरा सर सवाल अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ है।
जी
मेरा
जी
सवाल ये था
जी।
कि क्या गवर्नमेंट में भी ये बात चल रही है कि इस तरह का सिलेबस बनाया गया है तो बच्चों को इस तरह से जॉब में लिया जा सकता है?
बिल्कुल पॉलिसी का पार्ट है ये। एक्चुअली
जी
देखिए ऐसा है कि गवर्नमेंट में बात चलने की बात ही नहीं है। जब
जी
गवर्नमेंट ने ये कहा कि आपको इंटर्नशिप करानी है, सब कुछ करना है, तो ये तो
जी
ऑलरेडी इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस थिंग एंड इट इज अंडरस्टूड कि जब स्टूडेंट जाएंगे अगर उनको एक्सपीरियंस होगा तो दे हैव टू बी मतलब जो है एब्जॉर्ब्ड ओवर देयर। ये तो ऑलरेडी पार्ट ऑफ द पॉलिसी है ये।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
सिर्फ इसमें हो क्या रहा है कि जो एक चीज मैं आपको बताऊंगा, अगर आप ये देखिए, क्योंकि मैं तो मतलब इसमें राइट फ्रॉम 2021 से इन्वॉल्व हूँ, 4 साल हो गए मुझे जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में। तो इस मतलब चेंजेस बहुत आ रहे हैं। मतलब गवर्नमेंट में भी हो रहा है कि गवर्नमेंट पता चला कि आज एक पॉलिसी लेके आते हैं, फिर उनको कोई फीडबैक मिलता है, वो फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म के ऊपर अपने आप को फॉरन एडजस्ट करते हैं और फिर कुछ थोड़ा सा चेंज करके फिर डेविएट कर लेते हैं। तो शुरू में हमें भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम आई, हम भी ये सोचते थे कि कर क्या रहे हैं, एक दिन हमसे कुछ कहते हैं, फिर मतलब जो है महीना 2 महीने के बाद कोई एक नई चीज आ जाती है। लेकिन वो खुद भी जो है फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म को यूज कर करके चेंजेस ला रहे हैं। एंड दे आर, उसके बाद फिर मैं एक दिल्ली में एक इनके उसमें गया था, तो इनसे बात हुई थी यूजीसी चेयरमैन से मेरी। तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि देखिए ऐसा है कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी ये नहीं है कि 1 साल में, ये 2 साल में इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाएगी। इट इज समथिंग विच इज गोइंग टू बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड राइट अप टू 2047। उनका तो ये था कि 2047 तक एनईपी चलनी है, यानी 2047 में जाके हम कहेंगे कि हमने एनईपी को पूरी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट कर लिया। तो ये सब चीजें जो आप कह रहे हैं 2047 को अगर आप आज से कंपेयर करें तो अभी उस चीज में जो है 23 साल हैं पूरे जो है। तो 23 साल में तो क्या क्या चीजें इंप्लीमेंट होंगी, क्या क्या होगा। तो जो ब्रॉडर विजन है इसका जो एनईपी का, वो 2047 तक का है, ना कि इमीडिएट 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल का जो है।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर। और किन्हीं को क्वेश्चन पूछना हो तो पूछ सकते हैं। Sir, that was a very nice lecture, very informative, and all the information about NEP 2020, its mission, its vision, and aim and objective. Everything we have discussed very minutely. Now, at the end, I would like one of my colleague to ask him to propose a vote of thanks. For this, I request Ali Ali sir, because he was just there. Ali Ali sir, to please sir propose the vote of thanks.
जी, यही तो आप गड़बड़ करते हैं मोइज भाई, पहले से बताते नहीं है, टंडम किसी पे थोप देते हैं। सोहेल सर सुन रहे हैं ना, ये ऐसी थोप देते हैं।
तो ऐसे ऐसे ही होता है, हमारे पास भी एकदम से कॉल आ जाती है, आज लेक्चर ले लिए, कल लेक्चर ले लिए, आ जाती है हमारे पास।
हाँ, अचानक थोप देते हैं। चलिए, बहुत अच्छा लगा।
जी।
हमारे आज के रिसोर्स पर्सन ने जो एंड किया है, वो एंड बहुत अच्छा लगा
जी।
कि आपने जो एनईपी के ऊपर, अब तक हम बड़ा डायलेमा में थे
जी।
कि, और टीचर्स डायलेमा में है, बच्चों को तो छोड़ दीजिए,
बिल्कुल
कि
एग्जैक्टली।
न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में बड़ा कंफ्यूज थे बच्चे सिलेबस का, लेकिन आपने बहुत सारे कंफ्यूजन को दूर किया है
जी।
कि नहीं, ये जॉब ओरिएंटेड है। आफ्टर इंटर्नशिप जो है बच्चे, आपने बताया 1947 ये 2047 तक का प्लान है, और बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने हम लोगों को इनलाइटन किया, नॉलेज से आगाह किया। इसके साथ साथ हमारे जो कन्वेनर है मोहित सर, और जो अलीगढ़ की पूरी टीम है, दूसरे कॉलेजेस के जो हमारे जो यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं, सुन रहे हैं हमारी बात को, हमारे साथ साथ यहिया इब्राहिम सर, जो हमेशा इस तरह के एक्टिविटीज में हमेशा एक्टिव रहते हैं और एक्टिवेट रखते हैं सबको। तो हम सबका शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं, सारे टीचर्स का, हमारे आज के रिसोर्स पर्सन का। इसी के साथ हम अपनी बात को खत्म करते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच, सो नाइस ऑफ यू।
Thank you, sir.
बाय बाय, बाय बाय।
थैंक यू
Bye,
सर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। ओके, आई एम साइनिंग ऑफ।
जी सर।
अल्लाह हाफिज।
यस सर, अल्लाह हाफिज।
डियर पार्टिसिपेंट्स, ये आज हम लोगों का आखिरी लेक्चर था इस सेशन का। अब फ्यूचर में कभी फिर ऐसा हुआ तो मिलेंगे। वैसे ये एक लंबी जर्नी थी हमारे लिए, हम सब के लिए लग रहा था, लेकिन बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव था। बहुत सारा इंफॉर्मेशन मिला एनईपी के बारे में। बहुत सारे जो क्वेरीज थे हम दिमाग में उठते थे, वो सब क्लियर हुआ। अब रहा, मुझे लगता है कि आज आपका एक और टेस्ट हो जाएगा, अगर होना है तो वहाँ से अगर गूगल फॉर्म आता है आपका टेस्ट के लिए, तो आप उसको जरूर भरिएगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जी, नेक्स्ट हाफ एन आवर में टेस्ट आ जाएगा। वैसे सब लोगों से ये गुजारिश होगी कि नेक्स्ट 1 और 2 डेज ग्रुप में जरूर बने रहें, ताकि तमाम लोगों को सर्टिफिकेट जब मिल जाए और हम लोग अपने अपने लेवल पे वी शुड बी सेटिस्फाइड के वी गॉट द सर्टिफिकेट, तभी हम लोग ग्रुप छोड़ें। और मैं IQAC की तरफ से और AMU HRDC की तरफ से मोइज अशरफ सर का बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को बहैसियत कोऑर्डिनेटर खत्म किया और उसको कंडक्ट किया और पूरा किया।
थैंक
वी
यू।
आर एक्सट्रीमली ग्रेटफुल टू ऑल आवर पार्टिसिपेंट्स आल्सो। थैंक यू मोइज सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सर।
वेट करना है मोइज भाई।
जी सर, वेट कीजिए, अभी वैलिडिक्टरी सेशन होगा, मैम
अच्छा,
ज्वाइन
अच्छा।
करेंगी, फायजा मैम।
ओके ओके।
मैम बस ज्वाइन कर रही है 2 मिनट में, और फिर वैलिडिटी के बाद में एक एमसीक्यू होगा, फाइनल लास्ट एमसीक्यू।
जी जी।
Dear participant, please join the valedictory. कहाँ है इधर?
Validatory session. 7 দুইটা করছে, আটকে চলো না তো, এটা রাখতে চলো, এটা চলো, এটা রাখতে চলো। Four quarter.
12 has 4 quarters.
मास्टर बाहर का
To develop aesthetic যখন বলবে to develop হয়ে এটা ফাইন হচ্ছে চা পিলে কিনে কি মাল লাগা মারো
नहीं लगे ना मुझे मन को टक्का में तो चलो तुम पीछे
মাল লাগা
नहीं लगा ना कोई रात में सीधा लास्ट
564
आज ही दोस्त मूड पूरा गरम ही जी
আচ্ছা মতে শোনা দে
आपन ने सुने मते सर मैं चल ली नहीं
चलिए,
ना
कम से
नहीं
कम इनके डायलॉग ही सुनते रहें।
रितेश सर आपका माइक, हाँ थैंक यू।
रजत सर का कम से कम डायलॉग सुनते रहें।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम।
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, all the participants. Welcome to the valedictory. I can see very few people. I hope the lecture was good and the lecture is over.
Yes ma'am, it was over and many people left the session.
Right. So you have to come back for the MCQ. I hope we'll put up the MCQ by 7:30. And in this short and last interaction with you all, I would like to hear, अगर आप में से किसी को कुछ कहना हो, कोई छोटा सा फीडबैक देना हो, जो आपने पूरा कोर्स अटेंड किया उसके बाद, या कोऑर्डिनेटर साहब ने किसी से पहले से कह रखा हो। डॉक्टर मोइस?
जी सर, जी मैम, वो
जी,
तो हाँ,
अगर
मैंने वो पहले से नहीं कहा था, बट एनीवन अगर कोई चाहते हैं तो वो अपना फीडबैक दे सकते हैं प्रोग्राम्स के बारे में। एनीवन फ्रॉम द पार्टिसिपेंट?
जी, कोई भी पार्टिसिपेंट जो कॉलेज
फीडबैक दीजिए छोटा सा सारे प्रोग्राम। आले सर है, आले सर तो अच्छा फीडबैक देते हैं।
हाँ, बहुत सीनियर टीचर हैं आपके कॉलेज के, इनसे हमारी मुलाकात।
फायजा मैडम सलाम अलैकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। आई एम वेरी ईगर टू हियर फ्रॉम यू। आले साहब फरमाइए।
मैं सिर्फ 80 से 90 अलीगढ़ में रहा, सिर्फ 80 से 90 के दरमियान, और इस प्रोग्राम में मैंने जो सबसे अच्छा जो लगा हमें, वो मेरे दौरान सफर सबसे अच्छा लगा कि जो आजकल ऑनलाइन टीचिंग की स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग, क्या नाम था मोइज भाई उनका, जिस दिन मैं बनारस से लौट रहा था, भैया का इंतकाल हो गया था।
आसिम साहब, आसिम जफर।
आसिम साहब का हमने उनसे कहा कि ऑनलाइन अगर कोर्स कोई हो तो हम लोग फिर से पढ़ना चाहते हैं, तालिब इल्म बनना चाहते हैं, फिर से स्टूडेंट बनना चाहते हैं। और उतना टेंशन भरे सफर में मैंने पूरा फुल अटेंशन से उनके सुना, उनके पूरे लेक्चर को, बनारस से वापस जमशेदपुर के दौरान कार में, और हमने सुना और बहुत अच्छा लगा। इस तरह के कोर्सेज में जो ये आपने डाला उनका ये लेक्चर, और उसमें चूंकि ज़माना आ रहा है ऑनलाइन का, और ऑनलाइन का ज़माना अब हम लोग अगर ये नहीं सीख पाते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग तो अब आउटडेटेड हो गए, 34 इयर्स टीचिंग करके। हम लोगों के ज़माने में तो कंप्यूटर अभी आया ही था, लेकिन कोविड के आने के बाद तो ऑनलाइन टीचिंग मस्ट हो गया है। तो इसलिए हम चाहेंगे कि आइंदा अगर कोई प्रोग्राम हो तो फुल प्रोग्राम इस पे, ये ऑनलाइन कैसे हम पूरी मवाद तैयार करते हैं, स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग कैसे करते हैं, कैसे डिज़ाइनिंग करते हैं, इस पे हो तो और भी मज़ा आए, ताकि आने वाले फ्यूचर में हम अपने बच्चों को भी बता पाएँ। तो ये बहुत अच्छा लगा। फिर न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 पे जो आज लेक्चर हुआ, और इसके पहले जो लेक्चर हुए, वो भी काफ़ी कन्फ्यूज़न को दूर करने वाले थे। हम लोग बड़ा कन्फ्यूज़ थे इसके मुतालिक, चूँकि हम लोग इसको कहते थे कि, बल्कि अभी भी बच्चे कहते हैं कि जैक ऑफ ऑल मास्टर ऑफ नन बना दिया है सरकार ने। ऐसा सिलेबस बनाया है कि मतलब खिचड़ी बना के रख दिया बिल्कुल। तो ये कन्फ्यूज़न भी दूर हुआ आज सुहेल साहब के लेक्चर से, और जॉब के इसका जो है बाद में जॉब से कनेक्शन भी है। उन्होंने बताया अभी 1947 तक का प्लान है गवर्नमेंट का कि नई इंटर्नशिप होगा, इंटर्नशिप के बाद जो है फर्दर स्पेशलाइजेशन को देखते हुए उनको जॉब भी दिया जाएगा। तो इस तरह के प्रोग्राम से एनरिच हम लोग होते हैं। बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम था, और ये 1 हफ्ते का प्रोग्राम वाकई हम लोगों के टीचिंग में और निखार लाएगा इंशाल्लाह। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे जान करके आपके तासुरात, और ये बात आसिम भाई से हम शेयर करेंगे, उन्हें भी बहुत खुशी होगी कि उन्होंने जो वक्त दिया वो वाकई आप सब उससे फैज़याब हुए। तो आले साहब का हमेशा ही फीडबैक बड़ा हौसला कुन होता है, और कॉलेज के सीनियर टीचर हैं। मैं यकीनी तौर पे आपको खिराज तहसीन पेश करना चाहती हूँ आले साहब, कि आपने बताया 34-35 साल आपका टीचिंग एक्सपीरियंस हो गया है, फिर भी कुछ नया सीखने के लिए आपने अपना वक्त दिया, और इस कोर्स में बहैसियत
फिर से तालिब इल्म बनना चाहते हैं मैडम, फिर से तालिब इल्म बनना
इस
चाहते हैं।
कोर्स में बहैसियत तालिब इल्म आप शामिल हुए। जी, तो इससे हम सबको तहरीक लेनी चाहिए। कोई भी कभी भी हर चीज नहीं जान सकता, हर चीज पे इल्म, हर चीज पे कुदरत नहीं रख सकता। ये एक टीचर और कॉन्टिन्यूअस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट जो हमारा काम है, वो उसकी यही स्पिरिट है कि हमें हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ सीखना होता है। तो फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज में जितने टीचर्स होते हैं, प्रोफेसर्स होते हैं, हर साल 1 बार 2 बार कोई न्यू स्किल, न्यू लैंग्वेज, कुछ ना कुछ सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट, कुछ ना कुछ सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट, इसके लिए कोशा रहते हैं. तो वंडरफुल टू नो अबाउट यू डॉक्टर आले, एंड वंडरफुल टू लिसन टू यू. तो मोहित साहब एक और ले लीजिए आप फीडबैक.
एक और फीडबैक किस हिसाब से मैं समझता हूँ, हमारे यहाँ एक तो बहुत सीनियर टीचर थे, अब कोई हमारे न्यू कमर जो हमारे यहाँ न्यू ज्वाइन किए हैं उनसे ले लेते हैं. आई थिंक जाहिद परवेज एक अपना तासुरात दे भाई. जाहिद परवेज ये हमारे यहाँ कॉमर्स के फैकल्टी हैं. मैं इनसे कहूँगा कि प्रोग्राम के बारे में कुछ बोले सारे.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम
मेरी
अस्सलाम.
आवाज पूरी बैठी भी है,
अच्छा,
लेकिन जो भी
हाँ
है
हाँ बताइए.
बहुत अच्छा रहा सर ये हफ्ता का. और मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ यूजीसी का, फायजा मैम का, डॉक्टर मोहम्मद मोहम्मद मोहित अशरफ साहब का, कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर का. सर मेरी आवाज बिल्कुल भी बैठी हुई है, इसके लिए माजरत चाहता हूँ सर.
अरे कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. चलिए ठीक है.
ठीक है सर.
बिल्कुल हमें एहसास है, इसके बावजूद आपने अपने अक़वाल ज़र्री चंद ही सही पर हमें उनसे नवाजा. तो अल्लाह आपको जल्द सेहत कामला और आजला दे. जाहिद साहब हमारी दुआ है आपके लिए.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैम.
जी, थैंक यू. तो मेरे ख्याल से पार्टिसिपेंट्स, नाउ इट्स टाइम फॉर मी टू थैंक एवरी वन ऑफ यू for joining this course, for being with us throughout these 8 days of online learning. And I want to leave you with the message that for these 8 days, you would have learned a lot on the topic regarding the NEP, and also about the best practices here at the Aligarh Muslim University. You would have had a good exposure to what does it mean to promote academic excellence in the higher education system in our country. This university has been here serving the cause of education and nation development for the last 150 years now. And it has all been possible because of the academic community that has been associated with us. And we have a very special reputation all over the world. I'm glad some of you have been associated with us as students or as research scholars earlier. And from today onwards, you will wear the badge of ambassadors of AMU wherever you go. We stand for academic excellence. We stand for values of large-hearted toleration. We stand for values of inclusivity, which is very important for our country. We stand for values of peaceful coexistence and pluralism. You have learned in this course about the transformative power of the national education policy, about how this policy aims to give us our first world-class university and then put us on the path of having more and more world-class universities. I'm happy now because you are the bedrock, you are the cornerstone, you are the foundation, the backbone of the higher education system. Now, when your cooperation will be warranted for taking national education policy from just a vision document to the structure, to the way things function, down to the level of execution, we will have your cooperation and you will not have any doubts, any skepticism, any aspersions about how this will be implemented and how this will be executed. I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the Kareem City College, especially Dr. S.M. Yahya Ibrahim, with whom we collaborated for this course, and because of whom so many participants have been able to associate with us, have been able to work towards their own continuous professional development, and have been able to be initiated with the national education policy so as to strengthen the higher education of the country, so as to contribute substantially and optimally to nation building, and to live up to this noble profession of teaching and being teachers that we are. Today, for a higher education practitioner, it means a lot more than being just a teacher. We have to do research, we have to do community service, we have to do administrative work. We are the ones who are becoming academic leaders in future. So there's a diversified mandate that we have, and I'm sure by whatever you have learned from this course, by no means it's enough. I know in order to be holistic practitioners, and given the kind of changes that the world is seeing every day, today we have machine learning and we have artificial intelligence, and the only option is to embrace, to adapt, and to change. So with that, I think there is a long way for each one of us to go. I can make out all of us, mostly, if not all, are in the early career stages of our development, but we are impacting students. We're impacting students who are very pliant, who are very supple, and who look up to us for guidance. We don't give them guidance by just saying what they should do, or we don't give them guidance only when they seek guidance. We also take guidance from them when we present ourselves as role models to our students. So I think now that you have seen such eminent resource persons here in this course present themselves to you as role models, you will know what it takes to be a role model of a teacher. I think you saw everybody coming on time. I think you saw every session happening, and you saw a good level of engagement in every session. You were engaged by the former VC of the Aligarh Muslim University. You were engaged by the former director of the UGC HRD Center. And just now you have, one of you has showered praises on Professor Asim, who is a former chairman of the computer science department. And he must have told you he's the man behind hundreds of MOOCs that AMU teachers have prepared and put up on the Swayam platform. So, my dear friends, there's a long way for us to go. Our mandate is very different from the mandate that our predecessors had. So, the first thing that we have to let go of is jaise chal raha tha waise chalne do, because that's not happening. If we think that's enough, then I'm sorry to say we'll be left lagging behind. And in this race of internationalization and globalization of education, which is inevitable, we will not be able to keep pace, and we will not be able to live up to the duty of a higher education practitioner. So with these words, I want to thank you. I want to tell you that you don't need any relieving letter to join, because you were not relieved from duties for the duration of this course. However, the certificate that we will give you will be sufficient for your CAS promotion. It will be carrying the weightage of a short-term course. I request you all now to stay back for about another 10-15 minutes. We will host an MCQ for you in the Google Forms, and please leave only after you have submitted the MCQ. You will know your scores automatically generated when your MCQ will be done, and you are being told here that you will get your certificate only when you have submitted both the MCQs. So one MCQ we have taken in the first day when the course commenced, and another MCQ we will be taking today. And together with the two, we will be calculating your marks. And then there are another 20 marks, which we will request Dr. Moyes and I will consult with each other and give for your overall performance. Within a day or two, tomorrow is Saturday, so maybe on Monday or maybe on Tuesday, Your certificates will be released through a code that we will share with you on a link in the WhatsApp group. All you need to do is click on that WhatsApp group and you can download your certificate using that code. If you want to download it again, it is downloadable multiple times. So do come back to us. We are doing some physical face-to-face courses also. Do have a look at our website if you are interested in some more professional development, if you are interested in some more improvement of your own skills, and if you are interested in some more of your overall development. There are many types of courses for you, subject-based and interdisciplinary. And let me tell you, for me first, and for you all, for everybody here, there is a lot to learn, and there is no better pleasure than the pleasure of learning and having a feeling of achievement. So I wish you all the very best. I will now leave you. Dr. Moiz and Mazhar is around. We will be putting up your MCQ, and then we will be releasing your certificates in a day or two. Thank you very much. All the very best. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
मतलब कलेजा फट जाए। डेली तो सुना जी 20-25 टोक तलाक डेली 25 टोक है। एक जगह बैठे हो तो मुर्गी वाले केस आ गया उनके भतीजी का गुलमर्ग।
सर, आपका माइक ऑन हो गया है, हदा सर।
आलम साहब सुन रहे हैं?
बोले क्या हुआ बाबू?
ये सुन रहे हैं डायलॉग, भूख लगी है लगता है मोहम्मद साहब को।
काम की बात हो रही है अली साहब।
हाँ, खाने की बात हो रही है। सुबह से असल बात है थक गए हैं हजरत।
मैं कह रहा हूँ काम की बात हो रही है।
हाँ, वही तो देख रहे हैं। माइक ऑन है हजरत का, माइक ऑन है। भूख की शिद्दत भी है।
सर, आपका माइक ऑन है। सर, आपका माइक ऑन है।
बोला
अभी उनको भूख लगी है शिद्दत की, अभी कुछ नहीं सुनेंगे। अब कुछ भी नहीं मुझको खाने के सिवा याद।
एप्लीकेशन खोलिए।
हम लोग यहाँ से लीव कर सकते हैं, ग्रुप में लिंक आएगा, आप वो ग्रुप में टेस्ट दे दीजिएगा विद इन टाइम, हाफ एन आवर। थैंक यू।
कब तक आएगा?
अभी आएगा थोड़ी देर में, वो आएगा तो उसके है ना, तुरंत आएगा। मैंने बात की है, वो
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, यहाँ से लीव कर दें।
हाँ, लीव कर सकते हैं।
ठीक, ठीक है,
ओके,
ठीक है, ठीक है, थैंक यू।